good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm headed up the road. So last night, Steve Sarkisian, he's now a free agent. Well, not technically. Steve Sarkisian, Texas season ended last night in tragic fashion, and but we may have great news, maybe some of the best news maybe in a long ass time. But gotta pay attention to the road again. I'm on the road right now, and looks like my washer fluid is froze up. That's not good. We got more snow last night. We got a couple more inches, and I'm headed up the road. I got to get Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction Gig Economy and bring him down. And I've got to go by my parents' house and do some things for them, mainly because, and let me say, there's so many of you out there like Dirty Sanchez, Lola, Rhonda, and there's too many of y'all to name that have been part of doing the walkway at the Red Brick House and helping us with that, where we're going to be able to get this house put on the National Registry. And buying a brick, I appreciate it. Your bricks will be there forever. If you ever want to come visit your brick, let me know. So I got a brick for my dad and my mom. Shout out to them. My dad, who's been a Cowboy fan, and the reason why I am a Cowboy fan is because of my dad. And I also want to show them this one that's going there as well for my brother Tony, who's no longer with us. For me, it's kind of cool that I know at some point I'm going to be taking a dirt nap. And when I do, at least beyond me will be hopefully this walkway. That is, if the kids don't sell the house, that'll go with it. Maybe we ought to put in the covenants that the walkway can never be removed. So whoever owns it in the future knows that you can't tear down the house, which we put in there before. It can only come down by an act of Mother Nature. And maybe the walkway is considered part of that. So, last night, the semifinals for the national championship, Ohio State, Texas, and I was doing my fireside chat last night, watching the fourth quarter, and it was 4th and goal from the 7, and Evers gets strip sacked and ends up going all the way for a touchdown, sealing the fate of Texas season ending. And that's the hard thing about football is, in the end, it's only one team that's happy. It's only one team. And to lose a game where basically a couple of plays, Micah Parsons got lit up when he talked about, a couple of plays, 5 plays, and if you, ignore the scoreboard, yeah, well, you look at the scoreboard, 28-14, you look and say it wasn't close. But that play, had they gotten in the end zone when it was 1st and goal on the 2, it's tied up 21-21 and headed for overtime. And that's the thing about football. 1 or 2 plays can change your season. I can think back to one of the years when the Giants made it to won the Super Bowl against New England. I can't remember if it was the 2011 or the 2007 season, but it seemed like every week they were finding ways to win when they should have lost. There was a blown call, for example, Arizona Cardinals game, where the Giants wide receiver, it's late in the game, Giant wide receiver catches the ball, puts it on the ground, and was never touched. Had the officials called that right, it would have been a turnover, of course, going to the Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles don't kick the field goal, that wins it. They don't win that game, they didn't get the wild card spot because they wouldn't have had enough wins. That one play enabled them to win a Super Bowl. And that's how close it is between winning and losing in a successful season versus a non-successful season. It's literally that close. So you need to have every edge that you can. Micah Parsons in the suite with Jerry Jones, watching the game. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall so I could hear exactly what they're talking about. But the game's about 3 hours. It has been said that Jerry and Micah were in there well after the game was over, continuing to talk. Yeah. Now Micah, he's all about, increasing his brand, his media standing, and so on. I mean, he's basically told people, hey, come to Dallas and you build up your media cred. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You can do that with the Cowboys. It will definitely help you. But he is also about winning. Now, Micah Parsons kind of wrote a check that he's trying to help Jerry Jones, get Jerry Jones to help cover it. And that is, we're holding up the trophy next year. Micah Parsons, who's already been out there saying, Tyreek Hill, Texas is the place to be. No income taxes. Myles Garrett, we can be here. We can make some history here together. I like all of those ideas. Now, ideas versus reality are two different things. But the fact that Jerry Jones stayed in there and listened for hours and hours and hours is a good thing. That maybe, just maybe, there's hope that something will happen. We've had the players from Dak and Micah and things talk about stability with wanting to bring back the coaching staff. It looks like that, of course, is going to happen. That Mike McCarthy, that they're actually working on hammering out the deal as we speak. And so maybe there's some hope that this isn't going to be business as usual, that maybe things are going to be a little bit different, and maybe the Cowboys actually do. I don't know if they'll actually go all in, but they're definitely going to probably do more than what they've been doing. And that's the big hope that's here. There is still, of course, the fly in the ointment, which is now we've had the rumors, okay? Look at all these rumors around me every day. Yeah. When you're Cowboys, you've got tons and tons of rumors. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be. There's always going to be somebody that they name. And after this one, until the ink is dry on a contract with Mike McCarthy, it's always going to be somebody that's going to be the name that's going to be with the Dallas Cowboys. And that would be the coach, Steve Sarkisian. Steve Sarkisian, who has been coaching football for 24 years, 11 years as a head coach, who took a University of Texas program that wasn't like the University of Texas program when I grew up. See, the Longhorns back in the day, man, they were the shit back then. But they had fallen on hard times over the years, and Steve Sarkisian brought them back to national premise, and of course, right here, 2 plays away from possibly going to national championship. And the rumors that have been going around, I think somebody originally said, well, it could be that Jerry Jones is stringing out the Mike McCarthy decision because he wants to get another look or a closer look at Steve Sarkisian. And possibly that might be his guy. Go back to his roots where he hired a college coach to take care of the Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson. That's, of course, the rumor. Now, of course, his season's over. And that's where people are trying to connect the dots and put it together and say that's the reason why Jerry hasn't gotten Mike McCarthy's deal done. Well, what I hope is, and here's where I think honestly you have to look at this from the standpoint of two things. One, the Cowboys are never in a rush to do anything. Two, I hope that they've had their minds set up or made that the hay was actually in the barn, that Mike McCarthy was their guy, and they knew that was just going to be a matter of time, that they were going to get it done on their schedule and play it up for as much publicity as they can. Here we are, wild card weekend, and instead of us talking about the Commanders with the left hand up, getting ready to take on Tampa Bay, and Jalen Hurts coming back from concussion with the Eagles, going to be playing against the Green Bay Packers. We're still talking, or people are still focusing a lot of time and energy on the Dallas Cowboys and what they're going to do. We know Jerry Jones, he wants to be relevant in the playoffs, and dysfunction is his way to do it. But I hope that the Cowboys hadn't been thinking we're going to move on without figuring out viable options to move on to. You follow what I'm saying here? You don't want to go ahead and walk out your parents' door. You know, you come home from college and you're acting like Billy Badass, and your parents say to you, "Where are you going?" "I'm going out." And then they say, "Out where? What time you coming back?" "I'm going out." "What do you mean?" "I don't know. I might not come back." And your dad says to you, as long as you're living under this roof, you're going to know where you're going and what time you're coming back. And you Billy Badass and say, well, I'm moving out. Without a damn place to move to. Yeah. Been there, done that. And realized, damn, it was pretty good at home. Cooked some delicious meals. There was always food in the fridge. Didn't have all these damn bills like rent, electricity, water, gas, all these things. If you're going to make a change, you better damn sure have a plan. You don't want to fly by your seat and just say, what the hell, I'm just moving out and ain't got no place to go. Because then your choices that you're making might not be so good. You might be flopping on somebody's couch. And that couch might not be the best of couches. They may live like pigs. Got cockroaches in the apartment. Now that part, all this didn't happen to me there. I got an apartment. But still, you want to have a plan. And see, this is where the Cowboys, the plan worked out, I think, last year. When Dan Quinn was going around and looking at offers and possibly, maybe he's coming back, maybe he's not. But the Cowboys basically willy-nilly were like, oh, well, he's going to probably come back. And then he takes the job with Washington, trashes you on the way out, and now you're sitting here like, oh, crap, we got to find a defensive coordinator. I hope that the Cowboys they had decided we're going to get this deal done with Mike McCarthy, and we're good. That they weren't so, I don't know, man. And still possibly saying, Mike, we're done. We're going to move on. And you're sitting here holding the bag or sleeping on somebody's couch. Do I think keeping Mike McCarthy is a good idea? Think about the Giants. think about the Giants. Why can I not think about their coach? Coach that came from Jacksonville. I'm getting forgetful in my old age here, so forgive me. But their coach, he was mean. It was like you had to show up 10 minutes before practice. 10 minutes before meetings. Buc-ee's. Uh-oh, look. For those that are wondering, that's going to be the Buc-ee's in VA. That's right. We getting the Buc-ee's here in Virginia. And it's opening up this spring. That's right. Yeah. 80,000 square feet of barbecue, ice, gas, and barbecue grills, I guess. Okay. Sorry. I digress. The Giants coach, it seemed like he had worn out his welcome. Like I said, he was a really hard disciplinarian. I think he would have been in the military. And literally the players were like, if you didn't show up 10 minutes early to meetings, you were considered late. And it's kind of like, well, why are we saying the meeting starts at 5 when I got to be here at 5, 10 minutes to 5? And they said it was just too rough. And there were rumors about them firing him, that he was on the hot seat and things. And they ended up bringing him back. He kind of evolved some of the things that he was doing to be a kinder, gentler, coach. But he ended up winning 2 more Super Bowls with the Giants. Had the Giants said after it wasn't perfect, if they had let him go, they probably don't win those 2 Super Bowl titles. Why can't I remember his name? Hold on. Tom Coughlin. I don't know why I couldn't remember, but Tom Coughlin. So maybe this is a situation, or this would be the hope, that maybe this is a situation that, like a Tom Coughlin, that the Cowboys evolve. That Micah Parsons can really get into Jerry Jones's ear and convince him that, bro, Jerry, I love you, man. I love you. And I want to bring you that Super Bowl trophy. And here's what we need to do to get there. And that Jerry Jones is receptive enough to actually listen and try some of these things, and ends up bitch slapping Stephen Jones and saying, shut the hell up, we're going to do this. That would be the hope. And that Mike McCarthy evolves what he's doing too. Because here's the thing that I don't think the players, the coaches, the ownership realize. When we won the Super Bowls back in the 90s, there wasn't social media like it is today. There wasn't all of the, every camera angle of every single play and everything else. If the Cowboys, after 30 years of not winning the Super Bowl, won it, oh my God. You literally, if you're Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, your lives have been elevated to the nth degree. Jerry Jones would be able to literally print money. It would literally go through the roof. And that's what the Cowboys need to start getting in their head. That what they're doing, the tours, the $45 a tour that they get, the game day rallies where you charge them $15 to get in, selling the jerseys, that's chump change. Chump change. The real money would be is having that 6th Super Bowl trophy. That 6th Super Bowl trophy, oh my God. That is where the real money is. Alrighty, good people, as always, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have helped me to already get past JMU. Since we got the first quarter of the ride just about in the books. Oh boy, and hopefully I can get back in time to see the beginning of the games, although it's going to be close. So I've got some people want to, historic people. My parents' house, much like the red brick house, was built in the 1870s, and it was a farmhouse, it's a historic house and stuff. And some historic people want to come by and take some pictures and get a little bit more background on the house and some of my ancestors and things. So they're coming by at 1. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. If I can get done with them by 2, then maybe, just maybe, I'm here about 4:30. Hey, Mr. Trooper. So there you have it. Alrighty, good people. As always, I appreciate you. Peace.